Let's go. Who that? Who that? Ayy. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Ayy. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Let's get it. On the play, Marshawn Lattimore. Running to the motherfucking bank like an animal. AK-41, leave a nigga ankle. Full, her, let that motherfucker dangle. Shout out to my girl, she my angel. When she throw it back, I catch it like a Michael Thomas. Sitting back, waiting on my motherfucking turn. Like I'm Andy Dalton. Man, what the motherfucking deal is? I'm a motherfucking house like Tyson Hill. Yeah, you know we grindin' trying to get you meals. And you know I never took a bad deal. If the ops play, I'ma send a blitz. The Mario Davis, bitch, I'm blinking shit. I see the dirt birds there, they talking shit. But I bet you pussy niggas ain't gon' go. Oh, that.
Back to WhoDatTV. I am your host, Draye Allen. Man, we took another tough L. I'm sick. I know my dog's sick. You know, I'm about to bring him in a little minute, but we got the Breesy picks, week 6, Breesy picks of the week recap. We also got our game against the Cardinals we're gonna talk about for tomorrow, fantasy football, man, and much more, man. But before we get into all that, let me bring in my brother, my co-host, Jay Floyd, man. What's up, my boy?
What's up, fellow Who Dat fans and Saints fans everywhere? Look, it's kind of an encouraging week, even though we did take a loss. I'm eager to get into it and talk about it with all of y'all. Drop in the comments and we can go get this conversation going.
That's it, my boy. And before we get into all that, Floyd, let me bring in our other co-host, our other brother, my boy Kendric, man. What's up, Ken?
What it do?
Who that?
Not too much, man.
Who that?
Still who that, man. I don't care. It's still who that. We gonna be all right. I don't care. I say it every week. We gonna be all right. Shoot. Man. I don't care, man. I'm bad about that. I'm bad about that.
The week before last week was a much bigger week. It didn't feel as much of like a must win. They're an AFC team, so a few positives. It wasn't as bad as it felt, but it should have been a win considering how well we played early on. Well, really for 3 quarters.
That's facts.
And we won't get out of the way from turning this into a Pelicans podcast, man.
Hey, for real, man. I feel that. I ain't lying. Hey, speaking on them boys are looking nice, huh, Ken?
Yes, sir, Ski.
Man, we got my boy Jalen in here. He bragging already. He said 6-0.
Yeah,
baby.
Congrats.
You're
right, bro.
Yes, sir. Oh, he undefeated. We know, man. That's what 6-0 mean, Jalen, bro. You gotta rub it in our face, dog.
Yep.
No, but yeah, we're gonna get into that game too, Jalen, man. Keep tuning in, my brother. But before that, man, I'm gonna throw y'all off on this topic, man. The first topics first. Hey, we were talking about it on your comments, Floyd. I just want to talk about it real, bringing us back. Who was the best black shirt defense for Doretta High School?
Don't get me canceled. Brother, I can't. Listen, man, that was a great era. Probably, I'm biased, but I would say, those 5-6 years were easily the higher point for considering how defense goes for Doretta High School, the school that we played for. Honestly, bro, look, bro, you're gonna get me canceled. I say all of them. We always dogs. Like started with 09.
No,
all of them.
No, look, I don't care because this is a white shirt, so I don't care, boy. Big white shirt. I don't care about no blue, no black. We white shirts in this thing, bro. That's what I left. Nah, but for real though, I can't speak for anything past 12 because I wasn't there. I wish I was. You know what I'm saying? But that 10.
Exactly.
They was crucial, bro.
They were.
Harrison, Debo.
Hey, that
I just want to pop it up real quick, man. I just want to pop it up, man. This
Goats,
09
man.
right here. This 09.
The 9 was crazy, bro.
You know, the
goats.
9 was crazy. I'm
Floyd
talking
set the
about.
school record, had 11 interceptions that year in one season. Crazy.
Look,
listen, man, the goats.
Man, I got too many.
Don't get me started. Big
scars.
Just, Big Lyles,
Yeah.
Slow, Hunt. Listen, man, every
Hey,
young blood,
9.
Jace Moran. Listen, bro, get it off the screen, man. Those the goats, bro. That's the answer. That's the answer.
Hey, look, man, it's 10 right here though. It's go 10.
Dogs.
I'm talking about, hey, you know, I had no business being out there. I was getting bullied that year. I ain't gonna lie. Boy, every time I got up in there, boy, I got bullied. But look, I was out there taking them hits. Forget
Listen, grown men out there, boy.
But,
I was not fit to be on the field.
Hey, now these boys right here though, man. Hey, 12. Hey,
look at Cuz.
Considering points, we were hard. Considering points allowed.
Considering points, yeah. Considering points
allowed, we were definitely hard.
Here go 13 right here.
Hey, that's probably they might be second.
Yeah,
they might be second.
They went I want to say the second round and lost
No. They went to the quarterfinals.
Oh, it was the quarters. Okay.
Jamon tied the record Shorty had with 11 interceptions. He had 11 that season. Bell out there had 5. Listen, bro, don't get me started. They had the defensive MVP and Delano Stinson. Bro, look.
That boy JJ over there, fresh over there on all the way to the right corner over there,
John
man.
Fitzgerald out there making plays. You already know.
Sir. Man, nah, you know I had to bring that. I had to bring that topic up, man.
All-time greatest white shirt list up, man. What the hell?
Wow, you wild for even throwing that in here. I had no idea.
No, man. Look, I had to throw that in here, man, because I seen Shay's comment on the post. Yeah, Justin Victor comment, Drew. Man,
yeah, look, I promise I was just looking for the black shirt picture from our senior year. I wasn't even trying to do all that. I'm like, oh man, they on my top.
But no, fellas, we're gonna get straight into it, man. We're gonna get straight into it. We got the week 6 Breezy picks of the week recap, man. And hey, I'm gonna be honest. I did way better than last week.
You the only one. I think I had 4.
You had 5. I went 6-3. Floyd, you went 5-4, and Ken, you went 3-6. You had a rough week, brother. So yeah, hey, don't feel bad. I went like 2-7 last week. So
bro, this is the worst week of football I've ever seen in my life, bro.
It wasn't bad.
It was crazy.
I know a lot of people lost some bread, boy. That was some crazy stuff happening on Sunday.
And I was just about to say that, Kendrick, you were not alone, because considering all my friends who I know that put in parlays, they all had 2 thumbs down on their weeks as well. So it was a tough week to pick. It
was a solid 4-5 teams that that won, and you like it was like, what the heck? How they win?
Ravens, even though they only got 1 loss.
No, I ain't gonna lie, that's not the worst one. The worst one, when the Bucks lost, I knew everything was going downhill. That they had no. If Ma, you watching, I'm sorry, but they had no business losing to the Steelers, bro. They got like people that you can't even name playing defense.
Newbies, yeah, definitely got some newbies.
The go. Look at hell.
Man, the first games first, fellas, off the Breezy pick recap is the Ravens at the Giants, and the Giants end up taking that game 24-20. Giants are 5-1. Who would have thought, bro? And the Ravens are 3-3. That's crazy.
Hey, Ravens again losing them close battles, man. The Giants fighting. And if I remember correctly, I can double check. I don't even know if Danny Dimes had over 150, man. Like
something around there, 170 something, I think.
Dude, he was like, it's not like their defense is staying strong, but their offense they're not closing. They're not closing games.
Yeah, I couldn't have picked this one. If one of y'all would have told me like point blank, like, bro, don't pick Baltimore, I still would have picked Baltimore.
Exactly.
Like for real. So I really couldn't have called this or seen it coming, considering the New York Giants have a good pass rush and pass defense, but they were second to last in the run defense and were going up against a run team juggernaut with Lamar Jackson at the helm. So it was very curious to see. And the way that they won the game was with a pass rush, which I also would not have foreseen considering Lamar Jackson's playmaking ability. They were able to get home a number of times, and even when they didn't bring them down, they had quarterback pressures and QB hits on some of those pass plays that turned into interceptions and turnovers. So they couldn't have played better. Ran the ball considerably well and really flipped the script on Baltimore, who's used to being the team that dominates on defense and runs the ball.
Yeah, that's
who would have thunk it?
Who would have thought? That's what I'm saying. That's good points that you brought up, Floyd. Them Giants are fighting, man, and they are fighting, and they showing everybody that they a team to be looking out for it, man. And that's crazy. And everybody talking about the Cowboys and the Eagles and all that, man. Them Giants up there, man. I'm 5-1, bro. 5-1.
Great start in the NFC, where a lot of teams are hovering around 500 or. Yeah, right there in the mix in their division, fighting or tied to be top 3 or top 2. So to be, considerably that high above everybody else is a big marker, but not so much when they've got Philadelphia in that same division. They'll probably get 2 teams into the playoffs out of that division. So it's good that they are up there, because if they fall below the Cowboys in the standings, they might see themselves have a 5-1 start and not make the playoffs.
So hear this crazy stat out, bro. In that Ravens Giants game, the Ravens doubled total yards over the Giants.
That's bad. You feel like you won. You feel like you went out there and dominated.
They doubled
somehow you lost
with less plays, with less offensive plays too.
Yikes!
Averaging 7 yards a play versus the Giants averaging 3.8 yards a play, and they
turnovers.
Lost. That's the type of season the Ravens have them, and they are terrible with closing games. I couldn't believe that with my own eyes, man.
It is wild. It is wild, and they are off to a hot start. But the next one, y'all boys, we have the Bucks at the Steelers, and the Steelers pulled a nail bite off. They won 20-18. We all had the Bucks winning, and it didn't go that way. Bucks are 3-3. Steelers are 2-4. How y'all feel about that game, fellas?
Look, let me just start by saying I'm not gonna say nothing else about this game. I'm gonna just shut my mouth because I said Pittsburgh was not gonna score. So I got no business, even credentials speaking on the game. I have no idea what I was looking at. So I obviously am dead wrong and have no idea what I'm looking at.
Floyd, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I didn't think they was gonna win, but I was like, you was talking about 40-0, 30-0. I was, oh man, that's just a little too disrespectful for me.
Hey, that was wild. That was a good game, but I did not expect them boys to pull that off, and they did, man. They did.
I should have. It's just they don't have the pieces. Like, I didn't have confidence in the pieces they have, but I did have confidence. I got confidence that Mike Tomlin is like, he's not gonna go down like that, Yeah. Again, I did not think they was gonna win that game. Like, I still thought they was gonna lose. But I had some people that was like asking me about like the Steelers, and like people saying, "Oh, the Steelers gonna tank." Like, ain't no way Mike Tomlin tanking. He is fighting, and that game kind of was an exclamation point on his like reputation in his season. He don't do that. He's gonna play every game.
Yeah, that's true. Jamal Wright said can't count out Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, what was I thinking, man? What was I thinking? Okay, so I'll kind of answer that question and then I'll shut my mouth again. I was thinking along the lines of, I don't have no explanation.
You know what? You know what even makes this even crazier? The Bucks got did in by 2 different QBs. 2 different QBs, man. They rocking with Kenny Pickett and Mitch. I don't know which way they going with all of that, but hey, Mike Tomlin is just like, he just I ain't gonna say a QB whisperer, but he a team whisperer because he gonna find a way.
There you go.
That's it.
At the end of the day, good win, Steelers. Forget the Bucks. We on.
Yes, thank you.
For real. We needed that.
Humbly. Respectfully.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Jamal.
My boy Carmen in here, man. What's up, my boy? He said, what up, family? Who that?
What up, bro?
Man, the next game we had, y'all, was the 49ers at the Falcons. And the Falcons, man, what? The boys came through and put them boys on hush.
I tried to told you. But they didn't want to hurt me. That's that Lil Wayne.
And Jay Floyd was
to
the
told you.
only one. Yeah, you was the only one that picked the Falcons, man. And I ain't gonna lie, when you picked them, I was like kind of scratching my head a little bit, like, huh? But hey, you was right. You was right, bruh. They came
Yeah,
through and they
I felt like
balled.
they would win the game as far as the run game went, and that's kind of what came to fruition. They ran the ball a little bit better, and just kind of ran away with it. I think they got the lead to begin with, and just kind of stayed ahead. I felt like it was a little bit of a trap game, and San Fran fell for it.
Hey, what's his name? I can never say his name. Ayuk,
Brandon
yeah,
Ayuk.
yeah, Ayuk. That is his name. Hey, that boy had a good game, man. That boy balled out. I can't even lie, but
Yeah, he had 2
he's
TDs,
coming along.
8 catches, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it looked like honestly the Falcons controlled the game from like kind of all standpoints in that one, man. Like running the ball, kind of extending plays, big third downs, like Mariota extending plays with his legs. Like they had 49ers, man, on their toes, and they just didn't have no answer, man.
no answer at all, man. And
Cordero. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Cordero suited up, worked out pregame, warmed up, and still didn't play, and they still were able to run the ball.
That's crazy because they got him. I believe they actually still have that man. I thought he was on IR. I thought they took him out, but because I was wrong. One thing is a big red flag when you make Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball more than like 30 times, then that means the 49ers are probably going to lose.
Playing from behind.
Yeah, like that is not a good sign because that's not a passing team. That is a run, play action, quick screen type of team. I guess that's what you got to do. That's a scary team regardless. You got to make him throw that ball. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the guy to take over. He showed that in the bowl, his last bowl trip, and them guys made it all the way there, pounding the ball on the ground. They made them throw that. They made him throw the ball, and he took a fat L. That's the game plan for the Niners, and I actually believe that's truthfully why they was trying to go away from him. Like I know people are like, oh, glad to have Jimmy back, Mr. Reliable. He's nothing more than a solid backup because he's not capable of taking over the game. So that people was all kind of, no, we need Jimmy back. I mean, it's time for a new look.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point. 41 dropbacks for Jimmy Garoppolo is a little bit too much for their comfort and of the coaching staff over there. But I will say it might be more of an indictment on that coaching staff and the Shanahans because the same goes for Trey Lance. The less amount of dropbacks that he had to make when he did his, I think, 2 starts, the better he looked. But I think he had one game where he had a lot on his shoulders and had to do a lot of dropbacks, and that was his worst game, the game that he played the worst. So it could be that system, but that's a great point, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And them boys end up beating them. Them boys handle their business, huh? And I ain't need them to, man. I need them, the 49ers, really, to take that game just off our division, on the strength of our
jam
division.
it up a little bit more.
Yeah, they done put the Falcons over the top of us. So
Falcons the only team to win from the South last week, at least.
Good thing is we got to see the Falcons again, the Buccaneers again, all of them, man. We got to see Panthers. So
they got to see us.
Hey, that's right. What Carmen said, Trey is young. I don't think you can put that on the staff.
Good point. He's what is he? Is his 3rd year or 2nd?
Trey Lance.
I want to say 2nd.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, so 2nd year. He's young in starts, but he's been in the building and been in that organization for a little minute.
Unfortunately, he got hurt, but I mean that's the guy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That pick to me personally, I know I'm not a professional scouter. But that pick for Trey Lance was a little sketchy compared to who else they could have took in that draft.
Yeah,
so I am curious to how he's going to pan out. And I don't know many people know, but Trey had a really he didn't have much film as a college QB, if people remember. Like he had almost not a season, and he went top 5. And I'm just a little I'm iffy. I'm a support. I wanted to see the dude do good things, but it's gonna be rough.
See, I would 100% agree with that, but I don't have the the best track record because I'm somebody who had the same sentiments you're having about Josh Allen when he was drafted really early after having like 1,700 passing yards at Wyoming in his first season as a starting quarterback at the D1 level. And he came out lighting it up. So I feel like Trae Young actually is a little bit better of a player than he's been looking like. Trey Lance, I'm sorry, I said Trae Young.
Yeah.
NBA on my mind. But a little bit better than he's been playing. And my onus would be on that system. I know they have Shanahan as touted as one of those quarterback whisperers also.
Yes.
But all of these debacles with Jimmy Garoppolo has to fall on somebody.
Yeah.
The big difference, I mean, one of the things with Josh Allen is, I mean, he's developed like.
Yeah, they're two completely different. They play the game different. I'm just saying,
and I'm hoping that Trey Lance kind of does that same thing, right? Like that's where I could be wrong at. But I remember Josh Allen's first year. I mean, he was still getting criticized because it was real sketchy still, you know. But he's gotten better every year, and I hope that for QBs like Trey Lance, I hope he proved me. So I don't think he's going to be a failure. I just think it was kind of. I don't have that confidence, and I'm not a Niners fan. But if I'm a Niners fan, I'm kind of like, what the heck, man? Like, show me something.
True. Yeah, it is time to show and prove.
Yeah.
And the next one, y'all, we had was the Vikings at the Dolphins. Man, Vikings, they went ahead and handled their business. They won 24-16. Vikings are 5-1. Wild. And the Dolphins are 3-3. We all pulled for the Vikings, man. We was right.
Look.
Yep. They were starting that third string quarterback in Miami. I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
There's two different things here that I kind of want to touch base on with actually both teams. I'll start with the Vikings. The Vikings they're just that organization that they're going to get exposed every time in big time games because of how they play. Like games where they need to take off on teams, they do not. You play a pretty banged up Dolphins team and that was down to their third string that it had to bring the second string who might still be kind of hurt or concussed, whatever. You know what I mean? So
got to clean it up. Yep.
And they struggle. They did the same with the Bears. Like it's just like the same thing every week. You don't ever see the Vikings besides the Packers. That's the only team that they have taken off on. And I think everyone was like, "Oh, the Vikings are real legit," but then they're kind of backing like, "Vikings, they're 5-1, but they kind of sketchy, man." So I don't have that much faith in them, and I think like as we get further in these breezy picks, I don't know if I can keep rocking with them, man.
Yeah. This was one of those games that I felt like if it was anybody other than Miami, considering how Minnesota has been playing, they probably weren't going to get the win. It was literally just the fact that they were going against Skyler at the quarterback, making his
facts. That's the only reason I picked the Vikings.
My scale and had me. What I was going to say earlier was, I worded it this way. I encouraged a few friends to put the bet in on Minnesota at the -2.5 because I felt like they would cover that, and I think they did.
So
and it was because of that.
Overall, I mean, the main reason that the Dolphins lost was sole purpose of turnovers. That's another. You look at the score or the box score, the Dolphins kind of annihilated them in total yards, and I believe Teddy came in and threw a couple interceptions that kind of put Vikings in a good spot. So, and I think he got sacked like 5 times too. So that's never, as we know as Saints fan, that's not a good formula to win a game when you're turning the ball over. And the fact that they held Kirk Cousins, who has the weapons, to like 170 yards, as well as basically keeping the game within a one possession game without their starting quarterback is still impressive for the Dolphins. The Dolphins are still kind of a team to watch out for. Is basically
big time. Yeah, the game felt and looked a whole lot closer than a 8-point difference that it ended up being.
And that Waddle and
facts, Carmen.
Tyreek Hill duo is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, man. When they picked up Tyreek Hill, boy, I was like, ooh,
scary.
I'm talking about, man, that's scary. It was already scary for them individually on separate teams, but you put them boys together, and that's one of the two fastest receivers in the league. That's wild.
Man, that's a free. I know too. It was like it was in a candy store.
Looking his chops.
Man, you get to throw it to Tyreek. And I know it's like a lot of teams kind of got, not a lot, but some teams got like some elite players. Like you got Vikings got Thielen and Jefferson, and you know what I mean. Like your Bengals got, but that's different when you got two of like the speed is
almost
ridiculous.
Twins, yeah,
right. That's like you almost want that more than you want these big body Mawson type receivers because the way that the league rolls. You could just if you throw that ball in the air. And you think you overthrew them, and you really didn't because they running under that.
Man, speed kills, man. It can beat you in so many ways. You know, you can beat you deep down the field, quick screen routes, you know, anything, man. Speed kills. So
I wish, unfortunately, the difference, Tua don't got that cannon like most QBs, you know, and he don't got an arm. It's kind of shown, you know, you've probably seen the memes.
We got to put everything into it when he's trying to
Oh man!
Well, that throwing out his arm trying to get it to Tyreek and Waddle.
Tyreek over there somewhere.
That's what Patrick used to do though, but he got the arm for it. But he's
exactly he can push it.
Like you said, Tyreek somewhere.
Yep.
Tua trying to sling it. With everything, and he ain't pushing it down the field at all.
And what's the word on Tua, man? That like is he
next week? This week he start.
Yeah, he was actually cleared last week.
Was clear, but they
for football activity. But obviously, you know, PR move. They want to.
I think after
slow roll that return.
And NFL trying to watch their tail, man. I mean, that was they was in some deep water off of that, man. So they're trying to watch their tail off that situation.
That was probably one of the most bogus things I've seen, man. I was telling my friend right before the game, I was not wishing this on them. I was like, how is Tua playing this game?
Literally.
And they, like, what was you gonna call that a back injury, man? He was stanky legged after he got smacked.
Ain't funny, but it's funny. Like, man, they did my boy Tua bad, man, and hopefully, man, like I said, hopefully he come out this game and just ball out, man. I really want to see that out of him.
Yeah, I'm glad they fired that doctor too, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
As we should, clearing that man to play.
Down bad. And the next game we got, y'all, was the Panthers and the Rams. Of course, we all took the Rams. They handled their business 24-10. Rams are 3-3. Panthers are 1-5, and that only win is off of us. I'm sick. But yeah, I gotta throw that in every time. Boy, my team gotta shake back. Bro. We gonna get in that.
Yeah, Carolina's in full-fledged tank mode at this point. It felt and looked like they weren't trying to win the game during the game. They had some scuffle on the sideline and a lot of outside things going on that didn't have anything to do with football. And that's kind of indicative of guys on the team feeling like y'all aren't trying to win. This organization isn't trying to win. So that's kind of good for us. We might have a win later on in the season, and it might be a win that we need, considering that it's a division win or would be a division win if we can pull it out. They look like they're trying to get the number 1 pick, and
freaking man, they trying to trade McCaffrey. I seen
they trying to trade the whole team.
Boy, he was rumored.
Robbie Anderson
proposed to Buffalo.
Oh man,
shut the entire league down. That would be like LeBron James or Dwayne Wade teaming up together with Josh Allen and Christian McCaffrey. It will be over with for everybody.
Hey,
that was the rumor though.
The Rams, I know they won, but boy, do they suck, bro. Like,
ain't nothing like last year. I'm telling you, they're like the Super Bowl team, man.
To me, that was like still an L for them. Like, I'm sorry, because Matt Stafford is playing so sloppy that it makes no sense. Defense is just kind of the DBs aren't playing up to what they should. Like the Rams, they're just a bad team. Like they're gonna have to be Super Bowl champion to not making playoffs. It's crazy. They doo-doo. You're right, Cam. They doo-doo, man.
And they could still squeak in the playoffs. It would take some work considering the hole that they've dug themselves at this point. But just like you said, being a reigning Super Bowl champ until another one is crowned, that is as bad of a win as could have been put on film for them, considering you're playing against a team that almost doesn't want to win. So yeah, they have a lot of questions that they need to answer, and it's like a 7-week, 8-week Super Bowl hangover at this point. It's pretty bad.
It's really all these teams, and that's what's wild because a lot of teams are 3-3, and like it's all neck to neck. Like it's no only teams that standing out is of course like the Eagles, Giants, teams like that. But other than that, man, every other team in the league is close with the ratings. So man, that's why I'm not panicking as far as how we're going. The Saints, but it's a coin toss, man. This year's a coin toss. I don't know who, I mean, the ones Buffalo, of course, I see them going, but and the Eagles on our end, but you never know, man. We go into these bye weeks, and some teams might fall off, some teams might come up. You never know.
Guaranteed. I promise you right now, we can book it. We can record this moment. There is a team right now who we're thinking, might have one loss or not a lot of losses, or has been looking really good so far this season. That's gonna absolutely fall apart and not even make the playoffs. Come January, and we're gonna be talking about it.
That's facts.
I guarantee it. 1 or 2 teams.
That's facts. But yeah, man. Rams handle their business. They didn't make it close for the Panthers, and yeah, Panthers they going downhill quickly, and the Rams following right behind them, like you said, Ken. But also, man, we got next game. We had the Cardinals versus the Seahawks, and Ken, you went with the Cardinals, and me and Floyd went to Seahawks. Seahawks ended up taking that 19-9. Seahawks are 3-3. Cardinals are 2-4.
1 by 10.
Oh my gosh! I keep
felt like it'll be right around there.
I keep doing it. I keep putting faith. I'm like Kyler. He due for one.
I learned my lesson with Kyler and the Cardinals, man. I learned my lesson.
It kills me, man. It just I watched that game. I really watched that game. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I had that man Kyler going over 200 passing yards. I'll tell you this. I just gotta tell you this. I'm watching this game, right? 200 passing yards. This man threw a screenplay to Rondale Moore, and he went backwards 8 yards. That man Kyler finished with like 196 passing yards.
No,
I'm disgusted. My last thing I needed to win, like it was like $80. It was nothing crazy.
But still,
last leg of your parlay.
Look.
Hey, and this is my bad, kid. You go ahead.
No, I was just about to say that.
I'm about to say, hey, they got D Hop and they just picked up Robbie Anderson, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So man,
yep. And Robbie's gonna kind of replace the Hollywood role, which is just that over the top guy. Being that they lost Hollywood, which is looking like could possibly be for the season if they don't make the playoffs. So yeah, they added, but they lost a big weapon as well. So it's almost like tit for tat. And I know DeAndre Hopkins is that deal. He was gonna do what he was gonna do regardless, even if Marshawn Lattimore was gonna be healthy and be on the field. I'm talking about next week. So as long as we do what we need to do on the other guys whose name aren't Hopkins, then we'll be looking a whole lot better.
Which I feel like D Hop, he gonna do him. He gonna get him. But
period. Regardless.
But on Robbie on some stuff, he got to find that chemistry with that team. So that's a positive side for it, with them players.
Kind of, but when you have he's a Pro Bowler, perennial, all-star.
He's
and his legs are so much fresher than everybody else who's gonna be on the field come tomorrow. Like he's gonna be the freshest guy on the field by far. So that's a little scary for me.
But we didn't show we can lock that man up though, even when he's with the Panthers. So
but we just played 5 days ago. He ain't played 5 months ago. You know what I'm saying? He's fresh.
He could be fresh, but I mean he has not been allowed to practice with the team since the season started.
Yep.
So you could do all the training,
You're talking about D Hop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was still on Robbie. My bad.
No, my bad.
Oh,
yeah, my bad. But yeah, y'all right. Y'all right though. Y'all right. He fresh.
It could go our way. He could. I think that with the way Kyler had the amount of times Kyler stole the ball, the way the season's going, Kyler is going to feed him because he is going to have missed him. Right. He needs that. Like, I know Hollywood, no disrespect to Hollywood. Hollywood's actually having the best season
of his career.
They got Hollywood too, man. That's crazy.
But he just went down with a foot injury.
His career, so I guess it sucks that one left and then the other one starting to come back. Because I think with both of them, Kyler would have got rolling because he needs those type of weapons the way his game is. But I know we're kind of moving ahead, but I was going to talk about I was going to talk about the Seahawks. I ain't gonna. You know what made me more mad? The Seahawks pass rush ain't never looked this good until this Cardinals game.
Come on, man, and they run game.
They sacked this man like six plus times, I believe. Had Kyler. I know he's always running, but dude, he couldn't even hike the ball. Like,
they were those. I was just about to say that there were those 2-second sacks too. Like man, it wasn't him taking a long time back there. Now they were getting straight to business.
It wasn't him patting the ball. He just got it and boom, he had to take off. I'm like, ain't no way, man.
Ain't no way.
It was a tough one. This is a tough one. I mean, good for the Seahawks that they're rolling. That's another team they're staying in the mix. They could be in the playoffs. They're fighting. Yep. That team was probably one of the more overlooked teams just because of obviously losing your franchise QB, which looking at it kind of looked like they made the right move. But Russell, but I mean they're rolling and they take advantage of the Cardinals because they're struggling. They're in desperate need of help. That man, my man's Shannon Sharp, he say help is on the way. Because that's what the Cardinals need, boy. They need it.
Yeah, bro. And so a lot of I watched this whole entire game. A lot of their issues were on defense. They have a front seven that's like loaded with guys with names. You got JJ Watt in there, Hassan Reddick, a few more names that I'm forgetting. The nose tackle is a dog. His name's eluding me right now, but he used to play in New York. So they have some guys, and it's kind of weird to watch because when they get on the field, it's like the back four. They've got Byron Murphy back there and Budda Baker are crazy playmakers and are actually keeping them in the game with their coverage ability. But they just cannot make a tackle. Kenneth Walker, there was one play in the third quarter where I think he only gained like 2 yards, basically just got back to the line of scrimmage and broke like 8 tackles. Almost the whole defense couldn't bring him down. And I was like, they just need to keep him in the game because these guys obviously can't tackle him.
Yep.
And sure enough, he ran around on them.
Yep, sure enough. Don't go away from what's getting your yards. Can't go away from that. Just keep feeding that man. He hot, keep feeding him. But yeah, man. Seahawks, like I said, they 3-3. Cardinals 2-4, just like us. So when we play them, man, we need to jump up 3-4. That's facts.
Scary hours. I want to check the stats and see the record because I wonder if there's ever been a team to start 2-5 or even 2-6 and make the playoffs because I doubt it. So I feel like this is a must win for both of our teams.
Yep. And the next one, man, this was a good game. I dang near tuned into this whole game too. The Bills versus the Chiefs, and me and Ken had the Bills. Floyd, you went with the Chiefs. Bills end up taking that 24-20. Another nail biter, man. Bills are 5-1, Chiefs are 4-2. How y'all feel about that one?
That was it. Hey, I told y'all that game was going under. I was right about that.
Facts, big facts.
Yeah, you was right.
Man,
we talking about that in the group message.
The Bills under every time. It's something about them. But that game that's a game. That was like the championship game, right? That's what everyone's like looking for. Probably game of the year as far as matchup wise. Probably be some good games going forward. But you got 2 young QBs that can sling the ball, right? And they were coming out hot. They were making fourth down, 4th and 3s, 4th and 1s. Like they not second guess it, hurrying up to the line, just going for it, right? They going back
from the first quarter. Both teams were playing like every down mattered. Yeah.
Yep. And they started to pick it up in the middle as far as throwing the ball and getting in that end zone. But the one thing that like I knew was going to happen was defenses actually started to play. Like they were all like stopping each other for so long, and I'm looking like, I wish I would have bet the under on this one, baby, because I called it. But,
yep, it was back and forth. You did. You told everybody go bet the under.
Yep. And I said that on the last one.
Yeah, and I think when I picked the Bills, like I said, you could just see it and not the Bills, but that man Josh Allen, man, he wants to win. Like that man, he wants to get better. He wants to win. He wants to ring, and he's throwing his body on the line. He's lowering his shoulder. He don't care who's trying to.
Boy reminded me of Sam Peterson out there when dropping on the sideline,
hurdling, trucking, stiff arm, and all of it.
He got it. He's got the it factor, and I know Pat Mahomes, he wants to win too, but it's a whole different type of desire that you could see, kind of just from a spectator point of view. And that's what made me want to roll with the Bills in this game. It's like I knew it's going to come down to the end, and I just kind of felt like the team that was going to make that play was going to be the Bills.
I didn't expect Mahomes to throw that pick like he did, man. That was the close the game out.
Yeah, one early in the game, one late in the game. Both of them hurt him because it felt like they were going to score on both of those drives.
That was a great play, like the great DB play. He had nowhere else to throw it, and that dude broke on that, and Pat Mahomes had to get out of his hand in that situation, and that's what he threw.
That was a fourth down or third down on that last one.
I believe it was third down. Like, it was early. They honestly just got the ball back, right? I want to say it was like second or third. But they had a good pass rush on him.
I said that pick won my fantasy.
Look, I made the number one mistake, number one rule. I broke it. Don't go against your fantasy quarterback.
I ain't see that.
Tony Romo is crazy good.
Yeah, he's a crystal ball kind of guy. I'm trying to tap into that same bag.
He knows the game, man.
Yes, he does.
That dude be talking. I like actually listen to any games that he's calling just because of
he is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And the next one, y'all, another good one, man. I watched the whole game of this one too. The Cowboys at the Eagles. Eagles end up taking that 26-17 to stay undefeated. Cowboys are 4-2. Y'all both went with the Cowboys. I was the only one with the Eagles. And yeah, man, they pulled through big. Chauncey, we see my boy Chauncey over there making plays for him. That hurt my soul.
Two of them.
What? Two of them, man. And also Hurts, man, handling his business, doing what he do. So,
hey, look, man, my picks were just kind of killing me because I feel like I said all the things that gave me signs to go the opposite direction, and I still roll with them. But I just figured that if Coop could manage to not turn the ball over and feed into that defense, that they'll be in the game. And he did the opposite. He turned the ball over like 3 times.
From the start,
yep. And honestly, one thing I did see, like, what that game showed is the Cowboys defense is good. Like, they fought back into that game. They just they could not score when it mattered to get up there. That's what they lacked was the offense. And because of not having your starting QB, that's what would happen. But I'm impressed with how good this defense is fighting in this season without that starting QB because they're winning these games. But, of course, Eagles, being the Eagles, they got an elite runs game. They ran their way to that win. And there's something I've noticed every game. When the Eagles, when they get nervous, when their back is against the wall, they keep the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands as far as throwing the ball. They are running that ball every time. Man,
they doing that run pass option and it's killing teams.
RPO, but notice the RPO it's usually just a read option. They don't even play on like that. They start off in the first quarter, second quarter doing that. But when they get in the game and like either when teams start to go up or necessarily like when teams are starting to close on them, they are going to run the ball. I don't think that they actually trust Jalen Hurts to throw the ball in clutch situations because there's times you got AJ Brown, you got Devontae, you got all these weapons, and you don't trust your QB to throw the ball, and it's working for them for now. I think it's going to come back to bite them. I believe that if the Cowboys actually had a true offense, like a QB, that would have bit them in the butt in a game like that.
They got off to a bad start, man. They let the Eagles get too much ahead of them, and they couldn't dig themselves out that hole at the end. Like you said, they started to come back, but if they would have never had that first quarter or second quarter how they had it, we probably would be. They'd probably be leaning the other way right now. But
and the Cowboys are just missing a receiver. Michael Gallup Jr. isn't the number 2 that they need, and I know he's a really good playmaker. But if he were a number 3 option, I think they would be set a whole lot more forward because teams are able to really bracket on CD Lamb and kind of just shadow whatever he's doing on whatever side of the field he's on, and live with whatever's coming backside with the tight end or Gallup Jr. on that backside post that they love. So and my thought process on this game was Philadelphia does really well when they can force teams to throw the football, and then they get home and force mistakes and force turnovers. And I thought the Dallas Cowboys were suited to kind of avoid that and not allow those kind of things to happen with the way that they are able to run the football. But as Kendric brought up, the concern with that pick was they would end up in a situation where the game is on Cooper Rush's shoulders, and he's the one who has to distribute the football and make the right decision on 90% of the plays because you're losing. And I just didn't trust that. So I thought they would run the ball well enough to keep them out of that position, and it didn't happen. They dug a hole real early.
Oh yeah.
And
Hey,
Philadelphia got in a bag.
They ran themselves back into that game though, for real. Because when they came out, one thing that I did like is I feel like a lot of teams do get a little nervous when they start going down by that big of a deficit early on. They just try to start slinging the ball and then they throw themselves off the game. Yep. The Cowboys did come out in that half and they were still running the ball down 17. That's what got them in the game. They let their defense get stops and they ran the ball. And then again, once they started trying to sling it a little more, it kind of bit them in the butt because there was more turnovers that was flowing. But there's one thing, Floyd, that I want to respectfully disagree on because I am actually a Michael Gallup fan. I love Michael Gallup. I think that he is. I do believe that he is a number 2. I don't think he's a number 2 when you got number doo-doo at QB.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think he's good enough to make places when they had Amari, it was Amari and Gallup, and then when they added CD, Gallup was getting good looks, and I guess technically he was a number 3. I don't think Amari got to play as much as with the Cowboys as people probably wanted to, but Gallup makes plays. I think he's good enough to be the number 2. I just think you need that QB that can distribute that ball, and if that comes back with a little more fire in him and a little more confidence, I think as long as he doesn't start how he did before he got hurt because he had a really bad first game, but if he can play up to standards like past Dak, where slinging that ball like Dak that put up the numbers last year,
right?
We're going to see something real crazy in terms of numbers from receivers like Gallup in that system.
I could see that. Now, that's a good point because as soon as you said that, I thought about the fact that on that backside, it usually is Gallup and the tight end, which is Dalton Schultz, usually on the same side, away from 88. And it probably is a product of Rush not being able to push the ball to that backside post a lot. So a lot of those targets have been going to Dalton Schultz since Dak Prescott got hurt, whereas it was kind of the other way around because Prescott has more of an arm when he was healthy. It was going to Gallup.
Yep.
And Prescott should be back real soon.
He said he'll be back tomorrow if you ask him.
Soon.
I think he's cleared to coming back.
Yesterday.
I think he's another one that got cleared this week. Like another QB coming back. So let's see.
That's gonna be interesting.
And I think the last 2 games kind of put a stamp on people who were trying to say Cooper Rush should start, but Cooper Rush is just been maintaining guys. Like
that's it.
Back up, man. I know people fall for the hype so easy in this league, but people gotta understand that teams aren't game planning for QBs like this. They have game plan for your starters. So when this guy come in, he's actually doing good things. That's because people don't know this guy's tendencies. They don't know what he's gonna do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it. Like we've seen it happen with Kaepernick when he came in second half, and people just didn't know how to stop him because they wouldn't expect this guy to come out like Michael Vick, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's kind of like that insanity mode, right? And people, you come
number
in
17.
Like, oh, this guy's real good.
Another number 17 that was just like that, Brock Osweiler.
Oh,
he was backing up Peyton Manning. That boy looked like John Elway. For real. But when he became the guy and guys got film on him, he probably had 2 good starts when he was the starter once Peyton retired. But then once they got that 2 good film studies out on him,
I say that film mean a lot, boy.
You know who else got a job still off of their phenomenal backup? Mr. Jimmy Garoppolo.
There you go.
Yes. Hey, another player too on the Cowboys that's real nice, man. I like Turpin so much, dog.
Turpin, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
he's
boy.
From
that
Dallas,
boy so explosive, man. I love that boy.
He gave them life on that special teams. 100%.
Yes. He the one, that second half, he the one that jumped that little comeback off, man, with that return. So
look, that's what we need Raheem Shaheed to turn into.
Thanks.
I hope I said his name correct, or it might be Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid, something like that. Look, Carmen texted me during the game too. It's like, who the fuck is Rashid Shaheed? I said, boy, I don't know, but he just did his thing.
For real,
man.
That's
but
right. Y'all are quiet.
Oh man, the next game we will get into, y'all. The last game of the Breezy picks was Monday Night Football, Broncos versus the Chargers.
I don't want to talk about it. Oh my God.
Yeah, Ken, you ran with the Broncos, man, and Floyd with the Chargers, and Broncos 2-4, Chargers 4-2.
Wait, did you go with the Chargers too, Draye?
Yeah, me and Floyd went with the.
Come on, bro! Y'all can't tell me that I didn't just get the worst luck in history. You can't.
Russ got all of America fooled right now.
Dog, you got. Oh my gosh, I'm about to go crazy on this podcast, bro. Y'all about to get a different side of Kendric, bro. Hey, I was going crazy, bro. I was talking about brother. I was talking all my friends. I have bashed Russell. I cursed his name so crazy.
Oh, yep.
So crazy because I have never in my life seen a statistic where this man starts off 10 for 10 and he finished like 5 for 18 the rest of the game. This man gained 14 yards in the second half, bro. Mm-hmm. You're an NFL Super Bowl winning QB and was in the talk for MVP at one point, and you got 15 yards. I hope I got on the stream because this bring me back. I almost got in a fight because someone said that Russell Wilson was better than Drew Brees, and I was about to throw down. And I texted them and said, "Don't you ever in your life fix
no
ever again." Hey, the Russell Westbrook is the best comparison.
That's right, Russ.
Hey, bro.
That's right, Russ.
Oh my gosh, man! Man, look,
it was confusing to watch because the Chargers didn't do anything differently from the first half to the second half, or from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. It's just like the Broncos' game plan just deteriorated and fell apart.
They touched 20 points all year, dog?
I don't believe so.
Yo, that's wild.
And their bright shining star on offense hasn't been Jerry Jeudy, hasn't been Russell Wilson. It's been Latavius Murray.
Oh my God!
I'm so blue. You not blew me, bro.
Jerry Jeudy sick of him too. He ready to. I could tell, boy, game by game, that boy ready to shoot the deuces to
man. They're frustrated. Man. That team is frustrated. That's gonna be another team that's gonna break up real quick if they don't find answers. You know, it's I love just looking at these stats though, but the only team that has scored over 20 points against the Broncos was the Raiders, and they scored 32 points.
Wow.
Every other team has scored under. The Broncos are allowing only 16 points a game scored against them. 16. Wow. It's the lowest in the NFL, and they are. What is their record?
2-4.
2-4.
Should be worse.
Could be worse. You were basically got the number one. You got a top 5 defense with a bottom 10 record. It's
For real,
crazy to me, man.
For real, I had them boys, man. I had them boys up there with the Bills and all of them this year coming up here, bro. Like I thought they was actually gonna do something, honestly, bro. But man, how this season been playing out?
And in my mind, the more I watched that game, like they should have won. They really, I believe that the Broncos should have won that game. It's kind of disturbing to me that they didn't. And then how they lost, how they had a chance to win. The the muff punt just kind of put the icing on the cake. It's crazy to me. And I called it because the punt before that, he actually almost dropped. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then when they punted it again, I was like, oh, he about to muff this. And he muffed it. Game over. It's crazy to me that the Broncos are going through this because that's not on paper. You look at that team, if you looked at that team and you was like, oh my gosh, they got so and so, you would not think that's the performance that we're getting out of them.
That's so true, bro. It's like, so when you watch football, when you see a team that's consistently losing, it's usually 99.99999% of the time, it's because they aren't putting themselves in the position to go win the game at the end of the game. So, you know, it's so far blown early on, and they just can't overcome that. With this Broncos team, what we're seeing is every week they putting themselves in the position to go win the game, and then they just go lose it.
Yeah.
And then they just go lose it, find a way to lose it.
Sounds familiar.
Hey, I know we talking about the picks. Pelicans just smacked the Nets 130-108 final score. First game of the year.
Brooklyn, that's saying something. I think Brooklyn's going to be okay.
25, Brandon Ingram 28, CJ McCollum 21, Valanciunas 15, man, and Murphy off the bench with a 15 or 16 piece. Whew.
Bells are going to be scary. How much does Zion have?
Say it again.
How much does Zion have?
25, and he gonna give you that. That's Zion bread and butter. That's Zion bread and butter, baby.
Scary hours. Go Lakers.
I will say this: Kyrie did shoot probably the worst shooting game I've honestly seen him shoot. He had 15, shot like 0 for 6 from 3. But the Pelicans played a really good game. I like the team that we're building, and maybe we sacrificed our NFL team for a really good NBA team. But
but I said that, bro. If we would have had Zion last year, man, I'm telling you, bro.
I love what they did with the roster moves, bro. I really do.
Yeah. Well, they
got potential to be the best defensive team in the NBA, which,
and that's
like
what
you said, could put them in the Western Conference Finals.
I love that trade with Anthony Davis. Appreciate it, Lakers. Shout out Floyd. Appreciate that, but with Ingram,
we both won.
Hey, you want to know?
I said it when we made the trade. We both won after that. I got BI.
The biggest piece to that team will be Brandon Ingram. He has improved like every season so far, but he is like I know people talk about Zion, and I know we got CJ, but Brandon Ingram is that dude. Like he's gonna be, if he is performing, like, man, our team, the Pelicans, will succeed. I like Brandon Ingram. I really do. He's what I know people could try to compare him like KD and at one point Kobe. I think that's why he used to get so much hate because he got drafted to the Lakers after losing Kobe. And then everyone's like, this guy's supposed to be averaging 30 and he wasn't. That's fine. But he came to the Pelicans and I like what he's doing. So there's that. I just want to throw that out there for all my Louisiana Pelicans.
Right.
We got to show appreciation both,
Scary hours for the Pels.
See that Smoothie Center right next to the dome. You feel me? You got to throw that out there.
Yeah, it's the neighbors. They're our neighbors.
Yes,
we definitely gonna keep tabs on them all throughout the year, man. I want to keep this going even after the football season end, man. I'm gonna keep it going, rolling into the NBA. So
you dig?
Why stop? Why stop, man? Let's keep this train rolling, man. I'm loving it. But yeah, man, the next topic I want to jump into with y'all, man, it was a heartbreaker. Man, we all thought we was going to win. Well, we kind of called it. Kenya.
But shoot, by the end of the first quarter, I'm like, we got this thing won.
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
That honestly, the first half, I'm like, man, we on their heels.
Yes.
We are on their heels, man. I could not
score 17, and I think it was like 11 points or 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Or third quarter, something like that. But I was like, yeah, this feels different. We putting points up.
Yep. I like the way that the ball was being moved. That's like our offense was rolling. Andy Dalton with the dot through the middle of the field for that TD. Man, I was like, let me find out my team win because I actually picked the Bengals.
Yeah, Andy came out playing really well considering not having his top 3 wide receivers. I know the stats, towards the end of the game, I think he finished with 167 or 187. So it's not going to say he had an overwhelmingly great game, but he played better than the numbers are going to show,
It was the
considering
second
his
half that killed
weapons.
us, man. Second half killed us because I mean he was throwing pretty much high percentage, decent stats in that first half. That second half, I just felt like people weren't making those plays that we were making in the first half.
Yeah, yeah.
We settled for way too many field goals. Like
I'm really sick, dog. I'm really sick because we really supposed to be undefeated right now, dog. Like every game, the biggest L we took was to the Bucks, and that was about 10 points, bro. 10 points, you know what I mean? So it's like we're in the game, like, and then we're not playing to our full potential.
Right, almost playing terrible and still right there with a chance to win.
So just imagine, like, if we was, and then imagine if we have all these injuries. I mean, I know we can't do nothing about it, but that's part of the game. But bro, we ain't seen a healthy roster in years. I don't know how long, bro. And it's like key players, that's out. But regardless of all that, we still in the game with all these teams, man.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know at this point.
Week in, week out, it's like a different problem that plagues us every single week. And it feels like this week, the problem that plagued us, especially in the second half, was tackling. The simplest, most, and it's hard. It is a hard thing, but the thing that requires the least amount of brain power, and it's not an X's and O's thing. It's the essence of football. It's blocking and tackling. And it felt like those were the two areas where Cincinnati, when it mattered most, were just able to, overcome us in those areas.
That's facts, man. And speaking of what Carmen just said, man, Bradley Roby would have made one of them tackles, man. I mean, he missed two huge.
Yeah, there were
two huge tackles, bro. And one was on Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase said, "See you later" on the sideline.
But Honey Badger missed one too. That was a little.
Oh, Honey Badger did too. It was disappointing, man. And man, you don't see it, man. Oh man, what's going on with Honey Badger, man? I'm talking about how big a game he gonna have and stuff.
I've been holding my tongue, but it just feels almost like an uninspired brand, of football that's kind of been coming out at least in the last 3 weeks, I would say. And I think more of that has to do with how we're using him and the things we're asking of him. That may have been easier for him to do earlier in his career. But if you think about it, when he was in Arizona and even a little bit in Kansas City, Tyrann probably played in about 5 different spots on the field over the course of one game. And with us, it's just like he's just that too high guy. And that's period, point blank it. We don't walk him down into the box very often or ask him to get his hands and jam on receivers. We're kind of asking him to be that last line of defense at all times.
Yeah.
And it's kind of keeping him out of the play, especially when we have some younger players, more inexperienced players who maybe, playmakers like Pete Warner, but not always in the right spot. It can be easy for a quarterback to go 1-2 read. Okay, so-and-so isn't in the right spot and the ball's out. And if you're, backside or away from the ball, you're nowhere near it. And if that happens consistently, as a never, anywhere near that level, but as a former DB, I know that it can get a little boring at times. And that play can kind of surprise you because, the QB or the offensive coordinator has gotten to his first read on the first 36 plays of the game. And then now we finally play it perfectly. And so the read becomes the second or third read. And that's on me to make the play, but I'm kind of out of it and mentally, which is, a fault on that player. It's not, you have to stay aware and stay in the game. But I feel like that's what's kind of been coming up a little bit for him. And I would like to see him have a little more fun out there and fly around a little bit more and not be the too high or one high guy who's out of the play all the time.
That's a good point, Flo. We need to let him loose, man. Let the Honey Badger loose, man. That's a good point.
And I think that that's something that we want to do, but because of the numbers that we have, it's hard. Like we can't do it.
Alontae Taylor is coming back this week. Well, I think it's looking or trending like.
And even we have him.
Hopefully that shake something up.
He bring that energy too, man. He just like a Chauncey kind of with the talking and you know, the hype, man. I like Alontae Taylor, man. I feel like that was a solid pickup for us, and I know he's gonna be well with us, man.
It's
I
just
know
a
he.
short week. I think if it was Sunday, in my opinion, he would be somewhat of a lock or a game time decision. But because they'll be playing tomorrow night at 7:30, and we just again, like I said, played 5 days ago, it could be kind of hard. So he's looking like he might play, but that would free us up a little bit on the back end because we do need to switch some things up on defense
Yes.
to help that front four out. The front has been playing a lot better in these last 3
Oh
weeks
yeah.
than they did the first 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Now our issues are kind of coming on the back end, so we got to shore that up.
Man, I need all the pieces to fall together, man. Because like you just
All we
said,
need.
one DB slacking, the D line doing good. D line doing slacking,
Yeah,
the
next
DB.
game is the opposite.
Man, I'm just like, can we all get it together, man? Like,
Man, we finally start putting up points. Now we can't get it stopped. Like,
man, crazy. But them LSU boys tore us up, man. Them boys tore us up. Jamar Chase, Burrow locked in. That dude do not crack. Man,
Don't.
Burrow do not crack, man. That dude is awesome, man. And man, I see him with a couple of Super Bowls in his future, bro. A few, you know. But yeah, man, we had to take that chemistry away, man. We talked about that on the last pod, and man, they did exactly the opposite. Boy, they came out and ball, bro. I'm talking about put up numbers.
and they had a nice scheme going kind of early on to set up what they started running. Joe Burrow, we couldn't pressure him. He was getting the ball out of his hands really quick, like boom, 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 boom. Like all the plays he was going. Even the start of their first half, even though we were kind of owning them in that first half essentially, but even still, they were doing what they had to do. You know, those quick screens, that's eating us up. Getting the ball in your playmaker's hands right away. Knowing that we've been really bad at making like tackles, that's what you do.
They watched that film.
Yeah, that's what you do. Again, you know, I think every week you could find a highlight where we're giving up a really big play because they've caught the ball at a 5-yard pass or 2-yard pass and have taken it to the house. I've seen it almost every week, and it's like, oh my goodness, man, what are we doing? Like, it's fundamentals, tackle, wrap up. Like, what is going on?
We always one play away from winning.
Exactly.
Every game, one play. We make this one play, we won the game. Just one play.
And I feel like we should have, or we could have, or there were opportunities where we could or should have made 1 or 2 adjustments or tweaks or something. We didn't switch anything. I wish there was something I could come on here and tell, you know, the average fan who might not pick up on everything. We came out and did this, and then we did this, and that's what changed the game. But both teams seemed like they came in with their game plan and stuck to it. Cincinnati and New Orleans, and there was some back and forth in there. But once we realized that, okay, they've kind of adjusted a little bit to what we do, we should have tweaked or changed something, and it felt like we just didn't apply any urgency on offense, and we didn't make any adjustment to help out our nickel corners, who had a lot of strain on them with considering the offense that Cincinnati runs.
And I want to get into this comment real quick, man. Carmen said Joe Burrow has become one of the hardest QBs to blitz, especially when his line is playing well. Speaking on that comment, man, the sack we had on Burrow with Pete Werner and we got 2 of our best tacklers back there on that play, man. Pete Werner and Demario Davis, bro. Dude is 10, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We post a sack him. Joe Burrow breaks out that play, runs it in for a touchdown, bro. Man, dude awesome, man. Dude awesome. And like I said, man, them LSU boys won that game in Louisiana for them, man. And we knew that was coming.
We knew. Hey, I'm honestly I was impressed and, you know, semi proud of just how we're standing in this game and competing with what we're missing. And I know I'm asking for a lot, but in that second half, man, the plays that our receivers just stopped making, you know, and it's like, if it's drops, it's just not bringing the ball in, it's not getting the separation. It all started to add up. I mean, we ran for 200 plus yards as a team on the ground. That's like, dude, you see a team run for that much, you would think that it's a W. It's hard to just run. You get 220 rushing yards as a team, that's 9 times out of 10 a win because you're controlling the game.
Yeah.
But once we had to put the ball in the air, we got too many. We just missed way too many weapons. Where I think either one of those guys that we have in there make a play to keep the chains moving or keep the drive moving to keep from having to kick. I mean, Will Lutz is keeping us in the game, field goal after field goal after field goal.
Mm-hmm.
We keep a team lingering like the Bengals, who can make a big play at any moment in the game. It's over with, and that's what we did. We can't settle. Four goals. Thank you, Will Lutz, for going 4 for 4. But that's usually not a good sign, especially if your defense is not getting the stops that it should.
And I was just about to bring that up, Ken, because the Bengals went perfect in the red zone, huh? Like they nailed perfect 3 for 3, 4 for 4, one of them, and we went 1 for 5. Like that's we got to turn them into touchdowns, bro. Them field goals we kicked should have been touchdowns, man, and it just wasn't. And we went from being one of the best red zone teams to now one of the worst. And I don't know. We got to tighten up.
We got to get 41 in the end zone, man. I think we've played 5 or 6 games, and I don't think he scored yet.
He been having all these yards with 0 touchdowns, bro, and that is not like AK. I don't like
He's got to be our red zone offense. I think that opens everybody else up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't help that we're not. It's not like when we get to the red zone, I feel like we're not running a place to get us inside the 5. Like we run, it's long. It's like long conversions, long plays that we have to make, and we're not calling the right plays to do that. I mean, honestly, a lot of plays like if we give AK the ball, he could have scored. But a lot of times we've been letting Taysom Hill kind of take that role inside that 5 on the goal line. So I don't know. We do got to get better. My mans do need to touch the end zone. I want to see him touch the end zone. Every week I say he's going to score, and he doesn't. But I know he's due. He's due.
Yeah, I hope so, man, because he is killing me. Well, not really killing me in fantasy, but it will help me a lot more because I got that boy AK on my fantasy lineup, man. I need him.
He's gotten like over 100 all-purpose yards in the last 3 weeks. So it sucks that he's a touchdown. Definitely would put anybody who got him over in fantasy over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I got Justin Jefferson. I'm having the same situation where Justin Jefferson is getting 100+ yards and he's not even seeing the end zone.
Yeah.
So I feel your pain, Dre. I swear I do.
It hurts. I mean, regardless, I'm still doing good. I ain't gonna lie.
He's number 1 in the league, man. I'm sick. I done fell off. He done knocked my crown off my head.
Man,
I ain't trying to get my hopes up, man. I'm trying to, keep where I was at, so I can keep
number 1 right now. You outright number 1.
Yeah. But man, let's get into that Cardinals game tomorrow, man. How y'all feel this gonna go? Like, what's y'all opinions on it? What y'all on D-Hop and
thank goodness for the injury. I know that's a horrible thing to say. I wish all the best for Marquise Brown and his health and his foot. I think they underwent surgery yesterday, Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless of that, I hope he has a speedy recovery, but thank goodness he's not playing this week because I don't think we would have the DBs to be able to do what we need to do to ensure DeAndre Hopkins doesn't bust us for 200 yards and still win the game. So I think now that they have Rondale Moore and AJ Green as the 2 and 3, and we kind of take Hollywood Brown out of the equation. Robbie Anderson is going to be a brand new guy, but he doesn't know their full playbook and their route tree. So I'm sure a lot of what he's going to be running is going to be deep goals or posts. And we know what that's about. So as long as we do what we need to do on Rondale Moore, who had a big game against Seattle last week, and we stuffed the run for Eno Benjamin and forced their run game to have to be Kyler Murray, who did have 100 yards and a touchdown last week. He ran for 10 yards per carry, so that's a little scary. But as long as that is what the game kind of looks like, then we'll be in the game towards the end to be able to win it. I just don't think they have a good enough defense, even though we're missing 2 of our top receivers with Olave coming back, to be able to slow us down enough and keep the ball in Kyler Murray's hands enough. We have to get home on the pass rush though, and make sure he doesn't scramble.
That's it, because we struggle with running quarterbacks, and Kyler Murray is fast, boy. That boy. I mean, we struggle with Mariota. What you think Kyler gonna do? So we can't let that happen, man. We gotta get home. We gotta secure him. Can't let him get outside. We just got to get to him, bro. Cameron Jordan, Davenport, man. I need y'all coming off that edge. Big O, come on, man. Let's get in that. Let's get through that middle, man.
I think so. The first the first 2 games we played, we didn't have a sack. The third game we got 1, right? I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But we've got 13 sacks total in six games. So that means we've averaged 3 sacks a game in the last 4 games, something like that. Don't quote me, but it's something close to that. So either in the last 3 games or the last 4 games, we have 3 sacks in all those games, and that is kind of the blueprint.
Nothing,
no pass rush.
Yeah,
that's the blueprint that we need to kind of ride, and the wave that we need to ride towards a win. It's got to start on defense. We kind of know what our offense will look like, even if I think Jameis might be the starter this week, which is kind of crazy. We'll talk about that. But even if number 2 is under center, we know what our offense can be and will look like with a healthy Alvin Kamara. It's going to start and end for us on defense.
That's it. And speaking on the Winston situation, man, I want to jump into that injury report, because now Andy's on that IR, bro. Like,
I know, bro. The whole team. If you're a starter, your name been on there, it feels like.
Man, and I'm talking about, look, man, did not practice. I'm looking at all the players on our team that did not practice, bro. And, never mind. Look, it's showing me out on here. So, look, we got MT out, Jarvis out, Andrew Pete is out, Adam Trotman out, Marshawn Lattimore out. Like, bro, we missing Paulson and Debo questionable. Like,
oh, that's scary.
That's scary, bro. Peyton Turner questionable, and of course Winston and Andy, they on there, but it don't have anything questionable or out on there. So Mark Ingram on there, Keith Kirkwood on there, man. This Marcus May. We got
so we're in. We aren't gonna have very many subs, and we aren't gonna be working with a lot. The silver lining in that is that it's kind of late in the season, so every team's dealing with injuries. The Cardinals have Justin Pugh, who I think it has been out, and they just lost their center for a long time. So they are real thin up front as far as the guys who can protect Kyler Murray. And that played into Seattle getting home last week. And I think it'll play into us getting home this week. So hopefully we can capitalize on the fact that they don't have a whole lot of guys on that side of the ball either.
Yeah, because they missing a good little grip on their end too, man. I'm talking like Marquise Brown, like you mentioned, Floyd. That's huge for them.
Both running backs questionable. Benjamin and John Connor.
Yep.
Those 2 old linemen that I mentioned. Yeah, it's thin. They had a suspension with DeAndre Hopkins coming back from.
There's just as long as ours on that injury report, man. Yeah. Just as long. So
and that's where I was going to get out. Cardinals is out. If they know how we feeling, because they're missing. They're missing a lot. They're struggling. One of my biggest fears is when we face, kind of touching up on like the matchup, is when we face mobile QBs. Like, I do feel that, because one thing that we lack versus probably most teams is we have pass rush, but it's athletic pass rushers, right? We got really pretty much like good run stoppers that are also decent at pass rush, but they're not the quickest. So it fears me when we face QBs who can hit that, once they hit that, get out that pocket, that they could probably scramble for a few yards as well as possibly throw it downfield. So, and I've seen that quite a bit. I mean, fortunately, we didn't really let Geno get loose out the pocket, but he's not the fastest. But when you see people like Joe Burrow run for 20 yards, imagine what someone like Kyler would do, right? Shoot, Mariota, like that feared me when Mariota could extend the play with his legs. Thankfully, we made defensive stops at the most clutch times, but that always makes me nervous, because I know what we have, right? We know what we have, and I know Cam Jordan's not the guy to come off the edge like Micah Parsons or your Myles Garrett's and all your those freaking nature speedy D lineman that most teams are starting to pick up. We don't have that guy unless we're sending DeMario and Pete a little more off the edge. Hopefully, we have a nice game plan to keep a QB like that in that pocket, make him make plays quickly. So hopefully our corners can get up in the receivers, chest and slow them down off the line. We have truthfully one true weapon to worry about. I'm not too concerned about Robbie because there's no way, he doesn't know what's going on. There's no signaling. There's no communication. He's probably kind of running base route trees that, that an NFL receiver would know.
Exactly.
But you're gonna worry about D-Hop. But one thing I'm not worried about is this: he could be fresh, but he also may not be in shape for game time play right now, if that makes sense, right? You kind of get thrown in the fire. You're moving at a different pace, and we've been playing.
Got to get in football shape. It's different.
It's better to have someone who's been playing than to have someone fresh in terms of football, right? Like there, and you could be in game time situation, and you'll break your route a little early, a little late, the timing a little off because you haven't been practicing with your QB. So I'm not too concerned about that. I'm really concerned about Kyler getting out of the pocket.
That's it. Gotta maintain. We gotta tame him, bro. We gotta have that edge. I don't want to see him off that edge, bro. He get on that edge. Like Cameron Jordan, man, he get outrun a lot. Like I've seen it. He get outrun a lot. So
in our 4-3, we don't. And I've seen other 4-3s that are way more attacking. We don't always ask our ends to be the guy to always set the edge. Like you'll see those outside linebackers fly down hard outside gap because it's almost like the middle, who's DeMario 90% of the time, has reign as far as the three inside gaps on both sides, and they're the ones who are supposed to set the edge and funnel everything to him. And that's a good point. I think it's going to come down to like what adjustment we do or don't make regarding going into the spy look. If we can spy up on him, probably by his second scramble. So I say, the first, you don't come out in it. If he does take off, live with that first one. After the second time he takes off, then make the adjustment. That could kind of gum up some things that they're trying to do on offense and make them have to run the ball. But if we did more like what you were saying, Dre, have the D ends way more attacking and setting the edge to make sure he doesn't scramble, I think they would make the adjustment to just go inside zone, run inside, and you can kind of just get on the inside shoulder of that D end, and he'll run himself out of the play. And they would kind of cut us up on that. And then off of that, go with read option. So that could get a little scary because in the read option, that same D end that you were just getting on the inside shoulder of, it's the same exact look. You're just not blocking him at all and just reading where he goes with. So that could get a little scary, but that will be hard if we do that and actually get sacks because we're going to have to manufacture them somehow.
But I like the point one of y'all brought up, man, about sending Pete Werner or whatever. I feel like we should send him a lot, or send DeMario and have Pete Werner drop back in coverage, man.
Yeah.
So Pete Werner, they both can play coverage.
We haven't been sending more than 4 very often at all. I wonder what our blitz percentage that is because it's got to be low.
Oh, yeah.
But I believe someone brought up, I forgot what commentator it was, but because of us hurting at corner, we can't, or when you take Lattimore out, we can't run man as comfortably as we want to. Yep. So that takes away those man blitzes that we do like to run, right? Yep. So now we're forced to change our whole dynamic because our defense, although we've been known to give up big plays, but we also kind of, we're known to let our nuts hang. We mano a mano in this.
There you go. Right? Yeah. We're gonna lock up and
we're gonna make your receiver get open. We're gonna make you make the right read. We're gonna let our defensive box get back there and make a play. And it's hard to do that when we're just hurting this bad. Yep. And what's going to scare me is the Cardinals do not have a run game. They probably have one of the worst run games in the league. I believe Colin might be their leading rusher.
He is the run game. Exactly.
The bad thing about that is when teams don't try to run against us, it makes me real nervous, right? Because that's what kind of gets our defense going, these nice big stops, making these third downs nice and long. But now we got to face a QB who willingly wants to throw the ball 40 times, right?
Yep, steadily.
Wants to drop back 40 times. And the more you drop back against not only our hurt defense, but our DBs, the more liable someone is going to probably get open, and they're going to eventually get a big play. So the game is going to come down to who's going to step up in the back, who's going to step up at our DB, is, what we're going to do with Honey Badger. What are the people who are filling in, Lattimore's shoes, Alontae Taylor shoes, or, what are they going to do? Is Paulson going to be ready to play? Is he, he's been kind of playing a little rough? What are we going to get out of him? And I think Pete Warner is a ball hawk, and if we're playing a pass team like that, I think we definitely need to send him so he can get his mojo going. Because if we have him just in patch coverage, 80% of the game, I think we kind of take him out of his element because these teams aren't running the ball like we want to. And the same with Mario. Like, we got to make sure we mix it up and get those guys, sending them through the gap, sending them with some crazy creative blitzes somehow, some way. It's going to help us.
No, that's a great point, bro. You brought up the fact that their offensive philosophy is really going to affect the climate of this game and how it kind of feels and looks. And for some of the fans who may not know, Arizona, their head coach is Cliff Kingsbury. He calls every single play, and he runs somewhat of a offense that's I want to say an adult version, a grown-up version of what Chip Kelly used to run in Philadelphia. It's almost like the grown-up spread that you used to watch and play on NCAA video game, just translated to NFL skill sets. So they're not going to be a team that's shy. They're not going to be a team that is slow. And they're going to throw the football as many times as they need to, and aren't going to have very much emphasis on a traditional NFL run game. So I didn't think about it until Kendrick just said what he said. But Arizona isn't playing very well. But we're gonna have to score some points to win this game.
We're gonna have to put up some numbers. But on a positive note, Floyd, with the points, man, we've been pretty over
lately. Yeah, we've been up there up over 30
and over about 30 points. Close to it, at least close to 30 a game, bro. And that's excellent, bro, compared to how we started off.
Yeah.
But even when we started off, we were still putting up 20, here and there. So yeah, man. Carmen, I just seen this comment. He said, "Ken, I need you to pick the Cardinals again since they lose."
Yeah, you got it. Something. Hold it down. Take one for the team.
Like that, y'all. I don't be like about my Breesy picks. Say no more. Cardinals.
Yeah.
Off the muscle.
But on a positive note too, fellas, kind of going back to the injury thing. We got this game tomorrow, of course. So I feel like we pull this game off tomorrow. We're going to the bye week. They give us plenty of time to heal up and get ready for them Raiders, man. So yeah, man, I feel like this good. It's a good timing for the bye week as far as injuries go. So it give us plenty of time to get everybody back
that
to.
Just put a whole lot of pressure on this game. Now that you said that, because it's almost like a turning point. You're only as good as the last game you played. So that's almost going to be two weeks, almost half a week going through Thursday to Thursday, or a week from Thursday to Thursday, and then half a week from that Thursday to Sunday that we're not going to be on the field. Exactly. And so if we win the game, it's like that's 2 weeks where we're going to be feeling really good about ourselves and the direction that we're going and trending in. Yeah. But if we lose the game, that's 2 weeks you're going to have to almost
hold that L.
And
we're going to hold that L for 2 weeks.
Feel those wounds and feel those bruises and watch film and nag yourself about the plays that you missed. So this almost, I said it to begin the podcast, it's a must win, but it's almost like a make or break of our season, this game.
That's it,
being
man.
that they're an NFC team and only one of us probably is going to make the playoffs at this point.
That's it. We're going on week 7, man. It ain't no more time that we got time to get it right, man. We in week 7. We almost halfway through the season, bro. It's time to get it right now. We can't get it right later, man. We got to get it right now.
Break, bro. Trade deadline is 13 days away too. So if we need to make a call, We need to go ahead and put
Man,
that in.
Odell, come home, bro.
Put the order in. Put the order in. Go ahead.
Drugging and wild out right now. No, we don't need Odell.
Hit the plug up. Hit whoever up. Hit them GMs up. Put your order in right now.
It'd be nice to have him, but you
ain't never lied, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we just gotta keep AK riding the offense through AK, man. For as long as we got to. He's gonna hold it down. I think he's playing well. I'm glad he's healthy. Look, we keep doing what we're doing. The win's gonna come. QB's gonna start to get comfortable. I know we gave Jameis a lot of time. I'm actually curious. I actually want him to start this game right before the bye week because I'm really curious. Him healthy. What is he gonna do for our team? It's like we have nothing to lose, right? Like it's at this point we're going through it all. We got to experiment, right? And Andy's showing us some things here, and then we got James showing us some things there. At this point, I wish we can just fuse them together like Dragon Ball Z or something, man. But but we got. I just want to see what James got for us.
I agree, bro. I would like to see him start and play this game. We've got Chris Olave coming back, so he'll have some of the weapons that we'll be working with for the rest of the season. Jarvis is still healing up from the ankle injury, but I think, after a week and a half, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks with an ankle, he'll probably play the next game that we play after the bye week. So, yeah, man, it's like we're rolling into it, and I kind of do want to see us go forward with the guys that we plan on going into the playoffs with, and that's probably Jameis Winston and the boys. So, I also wanted to say, this is gonna sound a little weird and it's tongue in cheek, but we haven't lost one game this year that Alvin Kamara scored a touchdown in. It just hasn't happened yet. So he got to score a touchdown this game, and I feel like we get the win.
That's a good point right there, Floyd. That's facts.
It ain't happened yet, but if he scores, I feel like the games that we did lose, that 1 or 2 plays would put us over the top in those games, like Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and the rest.
Yeah. Where I did miss Winston at, man, I did miss him last game as far as that last play from Andy Dalton, man, when he took that sack. Man, we know Jameis, man. Jameis would have somebody to you know what I mean? He would have threw that ball, man. I wanted Andy to get rid of it, like just put it in
a can't sack situation. Yeah, you gotta give somebody a chance
in the air, man. And Jameis would have did that. So I did miss him, on that play, should I say? But overall, I ain't knocking Andy. He been doing solid for us, man. He really has. We just gotta find all the pieces. We gotta find on defense. We gotta finish our drives on offense. Man, red zone killing us, man. We went from turning the ball over to now we barely turning the ball over, and we getting in the red zone, but now we can't score.
Shooting ourselves in the foot.
We gotta put some points up, man. More points than what we putting up, man. Just think about it. If we would have capitalized every possession or that we was in the red zone against the Bengals, man, we would have damn near had we had 30 something. We would have damn near had over 50 points, bro. You know what I mean?
Like fell at 26, so probably add 14 to that or so.
Man, I'm telling we just gotta capitalize, man. Capitalize, we're gonna be all right. Yeah. But this is make or break. We need this
for
one.
Sure. And last time we said that we got the win, so hey, hopefully that's the case this time. I know in that locker room and in that building, I watched some of the press conferences that they've had for the past 2 days. They know it. We as fans know it. This is a must-win situation, and they kind of have to start building upon what we want the Saints organization to look like and what the product on the field should be. So they are kind of feeling the pressure and speaking about it in post-conference, press conferences and stuff like that. So post-game and all that. So hopefully that translates itself to on the field.
I will say this.
I
will say this. It's really, I'm not panicking, and the only reason I'm not panicking is because of, like we said earlier, how every other team in the league is doing. You got to look at every other team in the league, bro. And from NFC to AFC, man, every team is struggling right now. every team. So it's like we're not the only ones. I'll be stressing right now if you got 10 plus teams, just doing outstanding right now. Or if I'm probably right. But it's not like that. Everybody pretty even, man, especially in our division. We
the whole conference. There's one undefeated and a bunch of crabs in the bucket.
Yeah.
We solid. It's no reason to panic. That's just my little point. No reason to panic, man. Just take it game by game. Let's get this one. Let's go in the bye week. Let's get healthy, and then let's make a run. That's all I have to say.
Hey, people gotta remember two things. Is
and if LSU,
you gotta remember one is obviously that the playoff format, and you gotta remember the extra game format this year. So I know that playoff format came into play, I believe, last year. So it's a whole different. So you're right, like the panicking this early, it's like there's no need to. It's like the panicking, it shouldn't really come until you get to about week 10, right? Wherever your team's kind of at week 10. If we're not kind of in that 4 to 5 win range, then you're kind of like, whoo,
feeling on the outside looking in, big time.
We gotta remember that because it's a long season, a lot of time. I mean, the season, gosh, it's still already flying because, man, we're already in week 6, man. So it's crazy that we already 6 weeks in, approaching week 7, right? And I mean, I think we truthfully have 3 to 4 weeks we need to win these games. Not counting the bye week, I guess you could say 5 weeks with our bye week coming up. But I think it is very, very important that we try to pick up this win here going into the bye week. That we come out with a purpose, a game plan, sense of urgency, and start winning these games because it's only going to get harder. Like you said, we're playing some really elite teams, and I don't want us to wait until the last 3 weeks where our fate is in other teams' hands again, right?
There you go.
That's the worst when you're relying on another team to win to get in the playoffs because it tends to not go our way when we're in this position.
We learned that last year.
We got to control our own fate. You have to control your own fate, man. I'm a firm. I preach that. Shoot, coaching track. I preach that. Control your own fate. You got to do it, right? Whatever it is. We got to do it. We got to start winning, man.
At least get the 500, man. We get the 500, man. We come on, let's get it. We can get something going, man. But I just don't like being under 500. That's not us.
Exactly.
That's not it.
We got to win against the teams that are just as beatable as we are, right? That starts with that. We can't be losing to teams like the Panthers. We can't be losing to these. The Cardinals are struggling. I know they got good players, but to me, they're not a good team. They're in a terrible spot as a team right now. We can't let them try to get their mojo back against us, right?
Right.
We can't let them get going. They got their star receiver, so we can't be the team where they get hope. We got to rain on their parade and just keep playing like we're capable of doing.
Yeah.
And we got to break the curse. Carmen saying it.
Look, I was gonna say the same thing.
Gotta break the curse, man. We can never win in the same weekend. And
we were talking about controlling your own destiny, but look, it's kind of contrary to that. But if LSU gotta lose for New Orleans to get this win next week, just next week, considering we kind of have a championship window still open, and the Tigers don't necessarily with a second loss already. Look, man, if they got to take one for the team, I'm all for it.
Who play?
Go Tigers and all, but
Ole Miss, man. We got a schedule. Okay. Hey, if Tigers,
I honestly think they're gonna beat Ole Miss though.
Man,
number 7,
undefeated. They've been balling too. Let me tell you.
We got them at home though, so
listen, that Ole Miss team. I watched them play last week.
That's the best our offenses look all year against Florida. Like play calling, passes, plays made. I was like, yeah, that's us.
Yeah, they got another good one too, man. That Bama and that Mississippi State. That's gonna be a pretty good game. I feel like.
Hey,
hopefully they take a second straight loss.
Kansas State and TCU. You got TCU number 8, Kansas State number 17. So
they moving up. Kansas State QB, he on fire right now. He's keeping them alive, man. It's an interesting year for college, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, like Tennessee balling the way they balling.
Yes, bro. Listen, I wanted to say something, and it's gonna sound kind of crazy. They kind of look like 2019 LSU, man. That's what I was thinking the whole time watching them play Bama and against us. Like, these guys just don't stop, bro. Like, golly, that offense is elite.
Mm-hmm. I think
it looks eerily similar to what Joe Burrow's offense looked like.
Yeah, and it starts with that QB. I like his style. I like that he's not looking to run. He's capable of being in that pocket and slinging the ball. But if he gets to take off, he'll do it. They look nice overall, bro. I will say this though. I truthfully think Bama still should have won that game. And in my personal opinion, obviously I feel bad trying to root for them, whatever. I'm glad they lost, but just like from a realistic, fan sport, I'm just like, ooh, that's tough. The PI they got called on them, gosh, the way that that field goal being shanked, like they had the opportunity to win that game. Like they actually reminded me of us when we had 100+ yards of penalties. Like that was them. So sure. I'm watching like I guess I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It was 10+ penalties for 108 yards and like you versus another team who probably had like 3 penalties called on them the whole game or something like that. So it's I ain't rooting for them, but hey, Tennessee definitely they got away with one. Taking them.
They did, man. Them boys
want to get away with too.
I ain't even noticed I was delivering packages, man. I seen some old dudes outside watching the game and they little line chairs or whatever. Man, I asked them, I said, man, who winning? Man, first thing they shout out, man, Bama lost. So I was like, oh. Look, I went to the I said, boy, hey, that was like you said, man, that the calls though, Ken, they's getting ridiculous, man, in the NFL and college, man. No refs. I don't know, man. Them boys.
It's what they calling. It's like, man, let the boys play. Like it's like the things that they should call, they don't call.
There you go. You go. Like, that's my only qualms with them.
You're like, what the heck were you looking at, man?
But I see a blatant holding call go uncalled, and then you'll see the softest of softest tackles, and that's like unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty. One more, and this player gets an ejection. You're like, whoa.
What kills me? They come together, like y'all come together to talk about a play and still make the wrong call. Like,
there you go.
Like, come on, man. Y'all
bad
with that.
Oh, when they supposed to make a call, they get in their little huddle and no foul on them. Like, man, y'all know y'all just supposed to make that call.
Hey, I know we look, when did you put the college football down there? I didn't even see that. You just did that?
I put it up there when we first started talking about it.
Oh, I was like, boy, I didn't even see that. That's kind of crazy. No, but you know what kind of blew my mind and the crazy stat for the rest of this dude's life is this man having like 5 catches and like 4 TDs, bro. You did this against
200 yards,
the most historical
6 receptions and 5 touchdowns on Alabama.
I'm sorry, 5. I took one away. 5.
The game winner was his 5th.
And I'm looking at dude, and I'm not taking them from him, but he didn't even cut. Every route he ran was like verticals. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Straight down the field.
As I know Nick Saban, they said Nick Saban taking away all the Hellcats.
Yeah. I want every Hellcat key on my desk.
Man.
Nah, I also saw Hendon Hooker, who's Tennessee's quarterback. He texts Peyton Manning every Friday night, and they talk and go over the game plan over text every Friday night. So I wonder if Peyton put a little birdie in his ear, like, bruh, something they do when they go cover 2. If you just send number 11, I think his name is Traylon something on the go, he's gonna get past the safety every time.
That's a good play, Floyd. He probably had Peyton up in the film room, my dog.
Yeah, that's a smart dude.
Check to a go.
If Peyton told me close my eyes and throw the ball as hard as I can, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
You know what I'm saying? But
That's
you're
the
right.
sheriff.
But it's in that game in particular, something that, gosh, I hate sounding like this. I used to be the person that said like, all the games aren't rigged, like this and that. But I think that when I started gambling, you start to see things that don't add up. That don't
Yeah.
make sense. Let me break this down. You are Bama. We're talking about Nick Saban, Hall of Fame coach, probably the greatest college football coach in history ever. Like I don't think if you hate Bama, I'm pretty sure everybody agrees, right?
Undisputed. Yeah, at this point.
You're in a situation where you need the field goal to win the game. You're across the 50, you're in a good spot. You actually have a really good running back, per usual, good run team, and the guy doesn't run the ball one time. You don't run the ball one time to make Tennessee blow 3 timeouts that they have. You hurry up offense to pass the ball, and Bryce Young just throws it away, stops the clock. When you have enough time to run the ball, you got 2 timeouts left. Like they had 2 timeouts. Tennessee had 3. Bama had 2. They made that big play to get them downfield real quick. It's like what 50 seconds. You like I'm really like scratching my head here. Like,
how do they have enough time?
like, is this Nick Saban just
Right.
throwing the ball back to back to back to back? And he kept doing that, and they got another first down. He still does not run the ball. It does not add up to me. I'm questioning him. I'm just questioning the game.
Yeah, nah, there was a few that was like
if you go look back at that play-by-play in that game, you really just start looking like, wait a minute. The dude that's been playing the best on your offense didn't touch the ball.
Didn't get the ball. Yep, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep, Gibbs was eating. I know he did drop a nice little arrow route that he could have caught, and he had a D lineman guard him. He dropped it, and I believe they ended up converting or moving the ball upfield eventually. But still, you run the ball, you probably could get a few yards. Like that Tennessee line wasn't like playing that strong to keep Gibbs from getting enough yards for your kicker to be in a better situation.
Yep, field position came down to it.
Yeah,
crazy.
And they ended up missing, and then
they missed it. Yep.
Tennessee got that. Oh my gosh, the Hookers playing crazy, but that play to get them that field goal was crazy to me, man. That was a big time play in a big time situation. So, no, man, that game threw me off. But it was good to see our boys come out there and dominate big LSU.
Yeah, huge win. Jaden Daniels balled out.
They did, man.
I like Jalen, man. Yeah, I love Jalen Daniels, bro.
I like it when we start to get some plays where we're letting our receivers make the play. We've seen our receivers make some plays.
Yeah.
And there's a picture when Jenkins made the play on the sideline, and even there was like a couple Florida players that was like on
I seen that.
Man, dude, he went up and he baby dude, and you like, hey, that's a grown man play.
Yeah, I love to see it. Kayshon Boutte had a good, probably his best game of the year.
100%. Yeah.
Yep. Another resurrection game for him. So it's like everybody was in full force that game, felt like.
Kayshon's in a tough spot.
Y'all know what's crazy with Kayshon, man? I was on 2K. This was like last year. Yeah, this is last year. He had got hurt, right? Last year. Okay. So I'm on 2K, right? Man, I'm playing. I'm on, you know how, college players and all NFL players be playing. I'm in the park, bro. I seen Kayshon Boutte had a little football over his head, whatever. So I was like, man, I wonder if this the real Kayshon, whatever. So I hopped on a little circle with him. On me, he ran with me. Man, I ended up balling or whatever. On 2K.
balling, getting off.
Dude, I text dude. I said LSU ? He said, yeah, how you know? I said, man, your name. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm from Louisiana, man. I know you. You know, dude, as soon as I said that, he sent me a party invite on me. Send me a party invite. Boy, I joined it. Man, he talking about what's up? You trying to run another one? He had him and another one of his homeboys, and I said, man,
you was balling in. You got the balling.
Yeah. I said, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. But hey,
hey, no, G.
Run with you. Yeah, run with you. But yeah, man, that was crazy. Man. It's a crazy.
Hey, I would have stayed up an extra 3, boys. Come play
I couldn't, but my eyes were heavy.
Look, I just to go off of that, Draye, like, you know, I game heavy, bro. If I flip my camera, I got my 2 little monitors. I game heavy.
Oh yeah,
my system right there, sitting right there.
I still gotta get the 5, boy. I still gotta get the 5. I'll be on there with y'all
in the series, bro. I game.
I'm still off the floor. I'm still off the floor right now.
Hey,
I'm gonna get
I plays the Madden, G. So I'll be playing Madden. I'll be in the connected franchise, similar way. I play connected franchise. We be, you know, putting together leagues or whatever. We got the league that we've been running for years, and it's usually like a good amount of.
That's fire. Yeah, that's fire.
That is fire.
It's usually about like 17, 20 of us, and we've been playing together the last like 4 years. So we just usually find like more people to join 32-man league. Anyways, bro, that was a year. We had this dude in here, and bro, talking about it was supposed to be freaking Jeremy Maclin, right? So somebody was like, hey, this is Jeremy Maclin. And you and the group, I'm like, this ain't no Jeremy Maclin, bro. Like, ain't no way he in our league. Like, no way you got Jeremy Maclin.
I feel you.
But that's a what?
Man, look, I added his gamer. We add him in the league. He in the chat talking and everything, saying he Jeremy Maclin. So I'm like, bro, you capping. He in the gamer chat. Look it up. I look him up. Twitter, everything. It's Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
With Jeremy Maclin, I kid you.
That's wild. Hey, them dudes. Hey, I'm telling you, man. All them pros and college players, all that gaming, bro. You'll find them. You'll find them.
That was crazy to me. And real funny though. I was like, he was in my division, bro. I was the Browns. He was the Steelers. And I ain't gonna lie, Jeremy Maclin he had started pissing me off, man, because he was doing that to me. I ain't gonna lie. He had a nice little scheme where he didn't really pass the ball. He had a nice little run game and his little go-to passes, and I couldn't figure him out. He used to give me the work. I ain't gonna lie, but I had asked him. I said, Jerry Maclin, man, we in this group. I was like, hey, keep it 100 with me. I kid you not. I swear to God, I was like, keep it 100 with me. I was like, how frustrated was you when you were the whole season y'all didn't score a touchdown, like a receiver touchdown?
At all, no receiver calling.
He said, man, I'm just doing my job. Like, hey, he ain't say no. He was like, no, he wasn't gonna bash Alex Smith for nothing.
Yeah,
not there doing my job.
Doing my job. I respect it too, man.
I ain't been in the league since. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago, man. He was obviously retired, but I was like, bro, I really was in the league with Jeremy Maclin, bro.
That'd be fire, man. That'd be fire when you communicate with him over the take him back and forth, talk to him, and that's just fire, man.
Yeah, they be gaming hard. I used to play Fortnite. Well, my whole apartment, all my roommates, heavy when I was in college. So for like 3 years, we had all the University of Minnesota football players. Like 20 of them was like all in our friend requests. I mean, all on our friends list. We used to just hop on with one of them whenever we got out of school, just like when they got out of school.
That's hard.
Yep.
I don't know none of their names. Some of them probably in the league now, but we all still friends on the PlayStation Network.
Yep. I got Jeremy Maclin still added as a friend. I think he be appearing offline. You know, freaking the game be playing all the time too. Like the rapper, he be playing. I played the game. I used to play 2K heavy too. We got wrecked. We had a whole team. You go on the team prime. 9 out of 10, bro. You playing the game in his squad like that. And I'm be honest, the game.
That's crazy.
He actually sucked, but his team was cold.
Yeah. But they nice. Yeah, he got some goals.
Yeah, 100 overall.
It's always like that too, man. If one of the celebrities do suck or whatever, they're gonna have a squad behind them.
Last 2K, I'm in a competitive league. I was in a competitive we had a competitive prime team. I played the game like 4 times, bro. 4 times. And he actually, we played him so many times. He like, remember, he invited my guy, call him Saucy, his name Willie, but he invited him to the party, added him on Xbox. I was so salty. I wasn't even joining the party. I don't care if you the game. I hate losing, G. I was like, nah, G, they gave us the word, bro. But I was like, you suck. The music piece.
I gotta see the dub.
Yeah. Small world, man. It's a small world.
It's crazy how that works. Hey, Draye, we gonna go way back. We talk about video games. I know you remember when me and Savion, we was in Savion.
On the NC Dub or Madden?
Hey, we playing bad, but we play. Hey, Floyd, we played 2v2. G, we was playing 2v2, bro. Me and Savion was on the same team, bro. I was controlling QB. Savion was controlling the RB.
Who I had on my team? I
was
forget.
dogging.
Bro. I can't think of his name. I can't
forget.
remember your guy what buddy name, bro. I know his face like crazy, bro.
We got blues. I remember that.
We definitely got on their heels. Me and Savion.
Got worked. I was over
bad.
I
We used to run them tournaments all the time. Remember we used to run tournaments?
Oh yeah, the Madden tournament. What the NCAA? Really, the NCAA. We used to be on that heavy.
Hey, Savion, I'll tell you, I used to have all the games. Savion ain't had no system yet at the time. He had no games. I used to give Savion to work in the NCAA, boy.
That nice too. Him and Dion.
Yeah.
Him and Chop. Oh, Dre, look, we got 5 minutes left, bro. Look, or however want. Look, don't forget. You got an apology to give. I ain't gonna say too much, but I ain't gonna let you hop off without.
I ain't give out the apology, man. I want to apologize to the fiance for her Eagles, man. I've been talking down on them heavy, and they've been proving me wrong every week by week. Even though I chose them last week, but they 6-0. Shout out to the Eagles. Big play Slay, all of them, man. They did their thing. But it's still who that, man. We gotta see them January the 1st, I'm gonna talk after. We gotta see January the 1st. So we're gonna see what's up.
We're gonna get that done.
She over smiling. But yeah, man. That's it, man. I'm talking about one more thing before we hop off too, man. One more thing. I want to hop into that fantasy football.
Got to, man. I
missed the last pod, and I ain't missing it.
We ain't touch on it last time. I ain't mad at you because I lost.
Yes, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, son. I got A-Rod, that boy. He dropped me. I won 123 to 112 against the number one player, or he was the number one in our league. And A-Rod dropped me 11. Tyreek Hill had 29. Devontae Smith had 15. Metcalf only dropped me 5. That was crazy. Kamara got me 18. That's crazy with no touchdowns.
No 30.
Morstead got me 7. Hunter Henry got me 16. And Samuel only got me 2. Curtis Samuel, and then Boswell got me 10, and Philly defense got me 7. So it was a good
helped you out too.
Hey, Philly defense, man, they've been putting up at least. So I'm surprised they didn't get 10. They only got.
So you only lost 1 week, right? You only the first week of the year against me was the only week you lost. I'm sick. I'm taking 2 straight losses.
Yeah, you had a tough one over here.
Both of them not close.
Man, and then that's what's crazy because you got you lost 128 to 150, but man, Allen, man, and Diggs, man, Allen with 26, Diggs with 30, McKenzie 4. That's what hurt you, boy. Your other receiver.
I got no running back. I'm about to make them. I'm about to make some trades and make some moves this week. Really, I got to get through the bye week when Buffalo doesn't play because that's half of my starters. But once I get through that, I got a trade on the way. Already negotiated, but I don't want nobody to veto it, so I ain't gonna say
I wish I was in that league so I could talk, boy. I'm going through it right now.
Yeah, read us out yours, Ken. How you did last week?
I started off hot. I'm in 2 leagues, man. I got my one league. I actually am undefeated in. I think I put together pretty solid.
Tough. You 6-0. You hard.
Yeah, I got Lamar. I got Pierce. My running backs kind of been a little shaky since Cordero out. So I got Pierce, Algier from the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
My receiving core is actually pretty loaded. I got Devontae Adams. I got Cooper Kupp, and then Darnell. I got Mooney.
Yeah, that's why you undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Kelsey is the main reason. Kelsey has been holding down. Yeah, I'm locked and loaded over
here. Who is in your league? They're trash.
Nah, hey, people was like,
who did they draft? Did they draft anybody?
I'm in the 8-man. Y'all
let you get everybody?
Hey, I'm in the 8-man though. But I won't my money league though. The one that I actually care the most about, like that's it. Of course, I'm 6-0 in a free league, but I'm 3-3 in my money league.
Okay.
I actually still have a pretty solid team. Is my gosh things. I got a team where they putting up 100 yards, 80 yards, but no one's touching the end zone type of team.
I hate that.
Boy, that's a drive.
I got Justin Jefferson. Like, man, dude, going for 100 yards easy.
Yep.
Like, just score for me, please.
That's it.
I drafted Lamar that was my pick. I knew Lamar was about to go out, but he trying to make money. He trying to get a paycheck, so he gonna have a good fantasy year. I got Aaron Jones. I got Miles Sanders, Justin Jefferson. I got Waddle and Debo Samuel. So that's my team. I'm struggling at tight end. Y'all already, hey, guess who my tight end is now?
Who that?
Who that? You right. Taysom Hill, baby.
Taysom? Oh, yeah. I tried to finesse that in our league. Somebody scooped
Me too. I think everybody put in a waiver for Taysom.
He was my last pick. Believe it or not, I drafted him.
Wow.
Like it was my very last pick. Because every year I'm like, I'm a draft. I just say I'm a draft the same. Because your last pick is like ain't nobody really there. So I was like, I'm about to draft Taysom Hill, and then he started scoring. I'm like, hold on, he actually better than my tight ends right now. So I thought Knox was gonna have a better season. That one kind of there's two people that I actually drafted thinking they were gonna blow up. It was gonna be Knox and it was gonna be Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson, he worked out, but he's hurt right now. But Knox, man, dude he bad, man. Bad news. So I've been hurting that tight end because of that draft pick.
Hey, let's call it right here, Floyd. That's true right here, though. Who you putting in? All them bills got to buy, man.
All right, let's get into it. It's a whole scheme I got going. Okay, so Derek Carr is my backup quarterback who has been for the whole season. And as you all know, Devontae Adams is my starting wide receiver. So I still got that double touchdown connection going. And they're playing Houston, who I think is tanking or trying to get the number or a top 2, top 3 pick again. So I'm looking for Devontae Adams to eat. I'm looking for Derek Carr to eat. I've got Devin Duvernay also as a starting wide receiver now, who moves up from my flex. And I replaced him with I almost called him Duron Carter, who used to play in the NBA. DeAndre Carter, number 1 from the Chargers. He returns kicks for them, so that's where a lot of those points are going to come from. Hopefully he gets about 10 to 12. So yeah, those 3 guys and Irv Smith. Oh no, Irv Smith is also on a bye week, who was going back up Dawson Knox, who's my tight end, who's also for Buffalo, but they're both on bye. So I picked up Dalton Schultz from Dallas. Hopefully he can get the connection going with Dak Prescott and give me a win, man. I need one.
It's close on your end, boy. 48% to 52. It's tight.
I know, and I started 4-0. I got cocky.
You were so comfortable too with
I used to wake up on Sunday and set my lineup. I wasn't even thinking about it through the week. I feel like I'm gonna easily get the win.
Hey,
I'm
over too, man. I like mine. I want to see let me see the predictions on mine. It says, I'm actually up 51% to 49, but he was up earlier when I checked, so I don't know what he done changed over there.
Maybe
he probably made a couple moves, but he got a solid lineup, man. He got Trevor Lawrence as his QB. He got Pittman Jr. wide out. He got D Hop wide out. McCaffrey, Jacobs. He got Tony Pollard as his flex. So hey, it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough this week. Like,
you need the Saints to have a good game against DeAndre Hopkins, and we'll be good.
That's
we'll be good on all fronts.
And I'm sick because Philly got a bye, so that defense, the points they was giving me, they out. So I had to pick up New England defense. So I'm gonna see, man. I'm gonna see New England. They play Chicago, so we'll see how it shapes out.
So you got a nice little cushion right now. You 5-1, and I think everybody else has 2 or more losses. So it's just you and the league, you and the rest of the league, and at this point,
that's the best time to have the Patriots defense that playing the freaking
Chicago. Yeah, that's why I picked them up. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I went to a little advice. I got a little advice on it from somebody.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. We all trust me. Everybody in that league we in doing their homework. Everybody, all of us.
Everybody. But man, yeah, Ken. I wish you was in this league, bro. I wish you.
We're gonna have to get you in that mug next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit me up.
Add two more
in there.
For sure.
That big ass league y'all got.
Yeah, I think it's 14 of us.
God damn, boy. Yo, somebody gonna have Taysom Hill start that QB in that job.
We deep over here, man.
It is.
Already know it.
But yeah, fellas, man, it was a good one tonight. We done chopped it up, man. We done went back in history. We were talking about
you started off hot with the throwback black shirt.
Yeah, you almost got me to sweating on here, man. I hope ain't none of the old black shirts watching this. So nobody have to message me.
Yes. Well, we didn't talk about our week 6 Breesy of the picks recap. We didn't talk about our L to the Bengals. Our game tomorrow against the Cardinals. We covered the injury report. Talked about a little college football. We threw college football in there today, man. NBA, man. We didn't talk about it all, man. But it was a good one, fellas. And matter of fact, one I wanted to tell y'all, Floyd Sambo, he said he for sure coming out here for the weekend where we play the Raiders. So not this weekend, but the next.
Couple weeks, he's gonna be in Austin.
He said he put it in all caps because you remember he was supposed to come the last couple weekends, but he for sure coming this one. So I'm gonna have him locked in with us on the pod for that Sunday against the Raiders.
That's a bet. I'm texting that boy right now.
Sam.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. We got that going on, and we got our be looking for it. Oh shoot. Well, yeah, we'll still Sunday. We'll get it jumping, even though the Saints ain't playing, man. We still gonna get our picks in.
Yeah.
We gonna do all that. So everybody be tuning in for the Sunday Breesy picks and much more, man. Much more. Y'all keep rocking.
We gonna get up with y'all, and hopefully we already got our win, and we just got our hair down and we relaxed and our feet kicked up. Watching everybody else play the game on Sunday.
That's it, man. I wanna get on here excited Sunday, like we did that Thursday. Talk about the picks.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, fellas, man, it was a nice one, and y'all already know what I'm about to do.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Who that say they gon'?
Speaking on this song, Kid Timmy D, man, he said he about to make us a couple more songs, man. Y'all be on the lookout for the pod for the new songs as he.
We got a few themes coming for y'all. Yeah, tap in. Appreciate that, bro.
Cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Let's get it. I like to thank Draye Allen and Jared Floyd for this opportunity. And this is not for no Falcon fans whatsoever. We don't fuck with y'all. If you my friend, you my friend. But if you're a Falcon fan, we don't fuck with y'all. Let's go.